This week in Foster's Folklore Fridays, we will be investigating and telling the story of Prometheus, the titanic thief of fire. Now, Prometheus' story is a little bit long because it spans from the very beginning of Greek history, where he helped Zeus to overthrow his own father, all the way to the bringing of fire to mankind. Now, to begin, Prometheus himself, even though he was a titan, he sided with Zeus and the other Greek gods during the Titanomachy, or the Titan War, wherein which Zeus, along with Prometheus and many other of the Greek gods, overthrew the Titan Cronus. During this time, after the fight ended, many of the people who sided with Cronus were punished by Zeus, including Atlas and Menœtius. After this, Zeus and Prometheus kind of came at a crossroads with one another, where Zeus had established himself as the ruler of all gods and men, and Prometheus kind of started to see him almost as much of a tyrannical ruler as Cronus was before, especially when it came to mankind. So the rift between these two became most pronounced at first when there was a asking of Prometheus to divide the meat of a great ox into two meals, one for the gods and one for humans. So what Prometheus did was he tore apart this ox and he put one grouping of fine meats and the other was bones that had been wrapped in the fat of the ox. And he tricked Zeus into taking the fat-covered bones. This then led to humans being able to just offer up bones and fat to the gods and still being able to appease them. But this ultimately made Zeus angry, and so their relationship soured after that. So it then continued to happen because of Prometheus' earlier actions. Zeus said, fine, they can have all these fine meats, but you know what they can't have anymore? Fire. No more fire for them. And so Prometheus is like, yo, Zeus, like, the humans are great. Please stop messing with them. So what Prometheus did was he went out and he stole the fire that Zeus took away from mankind and gave it back to them so they could actually cook the meat, stay warm on winter nights, just make sure that life was good for them. And Zeus did not like this. Zeus does not like to be openly challenged. So what he did was he actually had another person, in this case Hephaestus, create a woman known as Pandora. And he created for her also a box. Now you may have heard of Pandora's box before. But when Pandora went down to Earth, one of the very first things she did was she opened the box. She's a brand new person. She had no idea what was inside of it. Nobody told her anything except to not open the box. And we all know that at the end of the day, when we're told not to do something, we kind of do it sometimes, because especially if we haven't been told why not, and nobody told her why not. And so she opened the box and out popped sickness and disease and plague. And there was one thing that stayed inside the box, which was still given to mankind, and that was hope. So Zeus then continued on with his punishment of Prometheus. And he essentially said, Prometheus, it wasn't just enough that because of you mankind has to go through plague, but you also are going to be chained to a rock for the rest of eternity and feasted upon by an eagle. Now, because Prometheus himself was a titan, he's also immortal, and which means that he regenerated every day, and the eagle would come back every day. Prometheus did not let up hope, though, and he was ultimately released from this prison by Zeus's own son, Heracles, or as you probably know him a little bit better, Hercules. One of the things that Hercules did was he actually shot down the eagle and released him in order to save him and move on from there. Now, Prometheus would go on to kind of be a minor player throughout the rest of time, if I remember correctly. He did have children. He did continue to work with mankind. Some people even say that he helped to create mankind. He molded them from water and earth. Some people say that it wasn't just him. Athena helped as well. But in the end, Prometheus is actually responsible, either directly or indirectly, for a lot of things that we have today. The phrase Pandora's box comes from this story. The running of relay races actually comes from this, because the early Greeks, when they thought of Prometheus giving them fire, they wanted to honor him in some way, and so they created the relay race. But more importantly, the Olympic torch is also a direct response to the story of Prometheus. I love this story, especially in our times right now. I know that we talked last week about COVID-19 and to kind of just keep our heads up and stay strong, but this week is the same thing. Prometheus gave hope to people, and Prometheus kept that hope alive even through hard times, until someone was able to come by and help him. And I think that that's the big lesson we have to take away this week is keep your head high. Stay safe. Do what you know what you need to do. We're doing social distancing here, making sure that everybody's safe and doing what we need to do. And I think everybody should just keep a clear head, keep hope alive, and keep running our relay race. So that's it for this week's Foster's Folklore Fridays, though. If you have any suggestions, please let me know down below. Would love to hear from you guys. Always love to hear suggestions when I get them. Make sure to like and subscribe and all that other cool YouTuber stuff. And I will see you guys next Friday. Have a good one.